Hey guys, this week's condensed video is going to take standard 2, and instead of having a real lengthy video or series of videos, I'm trying to keep it all to where you can just watch it, quickly review what is standard 2 all about. And standard 2 is all about the ideas that helped shape the US Constitution. So these ideas are going to stem back mainly from England. So when we're talking about one of those main ideas from England is the Magna Carta. So the Magna Carta is a document, you don't necessarily have to know the date, but from 1215 that limited the power of the king. It is the condensed version. So they said, listen, we need to put a limit on what it is that you are able to do in order to protect. Really, it was the wealthy citizens and parliament from the king. But this is a gradual progression throughout history that it'll eventually protect the citizens themselves. The Petition of Right. So the king was throwing people in jail for not paying the taxes that he was asked to fuel a war. And so the Petition of Right said, you cannot do that. We have rights that need to be protected. And essentially it boiled down to, listen, we will give you the money that you're asking for to go fight your war if you'll sign this document to protect our rights. And this is a list of some of those rights that were on there. And then continuing with the idea of rights is the English Bill of Rights. And this was a document that was widely used by the founding fathers in adding the Bill of Rights to the US Constitution. So no standing army during peacetime, no taxes without the permission of Parliament, and citizens were overall given more rights. And so this is where it starts to branch out, because now we're 400 years later after the Magna Carta. Then we have 4 individuals. Now, these individuals, their ideas range over a course of a few hundred years, but the ideas were all used by the founding fathers. So if you're like, well, why am I just studying 4 people that are not from, what is traditionally viewed as the United States of America? Why are, they even part of this curriculum if it's American government? Well, their ideas are being utilized. So the first one is Thomas Hobbes, and he wrote to the Leviathan. Now, the Leviathan as a word is just referring to a very large monster. It's referred to actually in the Old Testament of the Bible, in Psalms and Isaiah. So the idea, though, is that the large entity or monster was that the king or the government at large was kind of in control of all of the people, and it was sort of a larger than life character. So you see in the image here where all the people are depicted as being inside of the king's shirt there. But the idea is that people will lay down certain rights in exchange for protection. So as a society, there's certain things that we just have decided that we're not going to do. You could go as basic as speeding. We're saying I have the right to go as fast as I want, but in order to protect others, I'm willing to have a speed limit. And so that's kind of just the basic idea between what Thomas Hobbes provided. Then John Locke. So John Locke's ideas were clearly intertwined, almost verbatim, just not quite. It has life, liberty, and property, as opposed to life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness that we later see. And his idea was that yes, people are giving up power to a government or a king, but there should also be an agreement between the people and that government. So not just people saying, yeah, we're giving up power and you can kind of do what you want with it, but that the people have some control of that. So it's another step of, well, what is it that's going to be used to protect the rights of the people? Then we have Jean-Jacques Rousseau, and his was the social contract theory. Said, I get that idea that people are going to be giving up some rights, but that contract needs to be, in practice, the direct democracy, meaning people have a lot of say in what's happening, not just they're giving up rights and then just trusting and hoping for the best that the king or the government entity would provide for them, but that, listen, this should be something that the citizens have specific say in what's going on if they're going to be giving up those rights. And then Charles Montesquieu. So this is our 4th individual that's mentioned in Standard 2, and he wrote The Spirit of the Laws. His idea was that if the government is going to maintain law and order and political liberty and protect property, then the people would be able to give up some of that power. And in order to protect the people, the government should have a separation of powers. And so you're starting to see, kind of the pattern that was accepted in developing the US government with an executive, a judicial, and a legislative branch. And those ideas were drawn from Charles Montesquieu. And the last individual that's on here is the one that ties it all together in the form of, well, why is this important for the US government and taking this course of American government? And it's because Thomas Jefferson included these ideas in the Declaration of Independence, and later these ideas will be included in the US Constitution. So you see the repeating theme there of all men created equal, unalienable rights, or some would say God-given rights, that governments are instituted among men and they get their power from the governed, meaning from the people, and it's the right of the people to alter or abolish that government if the government is not taking care of the rights of the people. So all of this ties Standard 2 in nicely, and hopefully that helps you guys give an overall depiction of what it is that you need to know.